Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today we are going to have a look at one of these decks that might actually be the best deck in the format. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best deck in the format. That would be silly. We don't know. It is a very new format. We don't know what the best deck in the format is. And as I record this, at the end of September, if anyone's telling you they know definitively what the best deck in the format is, well, they're either a much, much cleverer man than I, or more likely they are making an educated guess at best. Scizor. Scizor could be very, very good indeed. This is not one of those videos where I give you a very interesting Pokemon and we talk about how we could make it work, because some of them, like Gengar, for instance, I think could genuinely be amazing if only we could get it consistent enough. Oh no, this is where we look at a Pokemon that has a genuine chance to, you could take it to a tournament tomorrow and rock the house, so to speak. So, it is Scizor EX. Now, both Scizor and Mega Scizor have a couple of things going for them. First of all, they are Steel type. And there are a couple of Pokemon that are projected to be quite good this format that are Fairy and hence weak to Steel. We have got Xerneas, just the regular Geomancy one. And we've got the Rainbow Road Xerneas, and we've got Mega Gardevoir, all of whom could be good. I have done videos on some of these, the link is in the description. All of them look like they could be good, all of them are weak to Scizor and Mega Scizor. That will not end very well for them. Now, they are both weak to Volcanion, which could be a problem because Volcanion, let's face it, is another deck. I'm not as high on Volcanion as a lot of people are, but it is projected to be quite good. Now, again, I've done a Volcanion video, link in the description. But the other thing that I really like about both Scizor and Mega Scizor, they have a resistance to Mewtwo. Now, when you think that a Scizor with a Fighting Fury belt has 210 HP, and a Mega Scizor has 220 HP, both of whom have a resistance to Psychic, means that they are hard to KO by Mega Mewtwo, which is projected to be one of the very best decks in the format. Mega Scizor's 220 HP also means that a Mega Rayquaza will need a Skyfield and a full bench of 8 Pokemon to do 240 damage to get the KO, because a Rayquaza with 7 bench Pokemon will only do 210 and will fall 10 HP short. The other advantage is that they are Steel type, meaning that Magearna is back in play, because let's face it, you're going to be playing Steel Energy, you've kind of got to. And Magearna EX is very useful. We saw this played in a whole bunch of World decks. It's the ability Mystic Heart, prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to each of your Pokemon that has any metal energy attached to it. So things like, for argument's sake, a Jirachi trying to get rid of special energy is not going to do anything. But to give a slightly more, an example that fits in with one of my recent videos, let's talk about Raticate Break. Raticate Break would bring your HP down so you've just got 10 remaining. Unfortunately, that is an effect of an attack other than damage, so Raticate Break's attack would do nothing. As a side note here, and as we're talking about Raticate, him that feasts on decks that rely on special energy, one thing I really like about Mega Scizor is that it doesn't really rely on special energy. Yes, you can play shield energy, I suppose, if you're really into that. It came out in Primal Clash, so it's still legal in the format. Reduces damage done by 10. I'm not a huge fan of shield energy because of the cards Max Elixir and Mega Turbo, which we'll talk about in a moment. But to be perfectly honest, I like, and this does make my Jirachi example from a moment ago maybe not the best, but I've still got Raticate Break, so we're cool. There are a lot of advantages to this deck. The HP, the resistance, the typing in terms of weakness, as in hitting for weakness, the Magearna, etc, etc. Lots of fun advantages, plus the not reliant on special energy. So, let's actually have a look at the attacks. Let's start off with the non-Mega Scizor. I really like the non-Mega Scizor. As a Pokemon in his own right, I am a fan. With it being a basic Pokemon, that means that Max Elixir is in play. You're playing presumably entirely basic energy, because you don't need double colourless, and as I've said, Shield Energy is not amazing. Max Elixir, look at the top 6 cards of your deck. If you find a basic energy there, you may attach it to a benched basic Pokemon. I can see some big advantages to this. Now, you have got the attack Steel Wing, 20 damage for 1 energy, reduce damage done to Scizor the following turn by 20. Now, you combine this with a Fighting Fury belt, and you've got an effective HP of 230, 170 plus the 40 for Fighting Fury belt plus the 20 for Steel Wing. And indeed, if it's against a Psychic Pokemon, that does give you an effective HP of 250. That's Wailord territory, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice attack to buy a turn when you need to waste some time, when you're not ready to go. Really here, you're looking at Gale Thrust. It does 50 damage, but if you became active that turn, it does 110. 110 for 2 energy is not stunning, it's not spectacular, it's not amazing, but it's pretty good. And you're hitting 110 every turn. Oh, wait a second. Only if you became active. The obvious plan here, ladies and gentlemen, is to use Zoroark. Zoroark's got his stand-in ability, which allows you to just chuck him into the active. You pop a Floatstone on him and he gets free retreat. So every turn you jump in, you free retreat, and you attack. If you're going against something like a Glaceon that stops attacks from evolved Pokemon, or something like a Giratina, for instance, that has the ability that stops attacks from Mega Pokemon, then your regular Scizor is the play here. I like him, I like his attack, but it's really about Mega Scizor. And the attack Iron Crusher. 120 for 2 energy. Now, I said that 110 for 2 energy was okay but not spectacular. I feel the same way about 120 for 2 energy. You will, with the exception of something like a Wailord, you will be 2-hitting everything. Unless they're weak to metal, in which case you'll be 1-hitting them. Now, 2-hit KOing is okay. But I've made this point on my videos and on my podcast PTCGRadio before. If you can 2-hit KO with Disruption, now we're talking. And that's what Mega Scizor gives you. 2-hit KO with Disruption. As well as doing 120 damage, you get to discard either a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, or a stadium card in play. So let's look at some of the top decks and see how annoying this could be. First of all, let's talk about something like Mega Mewtwo. Well, if they want to use Psychic Infinity, they are probably, not guaranteed, but probably going to be relying on double colourless energy to boost the damage output, especially when you've got 220 HP and a resistance to Psychic. So you can use it to get rid of their double colourless. Maybe Mega Mewtwo wants to use Shrine of Memories, the stadium, to copy the attack from regular Mewtwo EX damage change, switch the damage counters between Mewtwo and your Pokemon. Well, that's okay. They are playing a finite amount of stadiums, 4 at the maximum. So you can use Iron Crusher to discard Shrine of Memories, meaning they are not going to be able to damage change every turn, which means you will get a 2-hit KO. Mega Mewtwo relies on using Shrine of Memories and damage change to stop you ever KOing them. You need to 1-hit KO. But if you can make it so they can just not keep that stadium in play, then you can 2-hit KO and they won't be damage changing. Something like a Giratina, for instance. Now, Giratina is a problem given its ability and the fact that it stops attacks from Mega EXs. So you can go ahead and use this to discard the Double Dragon. Now, Giratina does stop all effects of attacks, which means it will stop the discard. But if you can go ahead and play a Hex Maniac to turn off their ability, meaning that you are allowed to attack them, and then you use Iron Crusher to get rid of their Double Dragon energy. What about Mega Rayquaza? Now, Mega Rayquaza initially seems like it would give this deck problems, because it can 1-hit KO, and you are accepting a 2-hit KO. But like I've said, once you get the Mega out, they need to have a full bench of 8 Pokemon to get the KO here. And if you're discarding either their Skyfield, meaning they need a second Skyfield or a new Skyfield, and 3 more bench Pokemon to get the return KO, or you're discarding their double colourless energy, well, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that is looking pretty interesting, because now it's still not an auto win by any stretch of the imagination, but Mega Scizor is not one of these decks, like for instance Sceptile, that sees Mega Rayquaza and goes, they're 1-hit KOing, I'm 2-hit KOing, that's bad news bears, because you're 2-hit KOing and they're probably not going to get the KO every single turn. Now, it must be pointed out that as much as Magearna helps you here, Magearna will stop the effect of Iron Crusher, so it will actually just turn it into 124-2 energy. And a lot of Rayquaza decks are playing Magearna. But then again, why not just play something like a Silent Lab, so that you are turning off Magearna and hence turning on Iron Crusher. Decks that are playing Magearna against you, like Rayquaza for instance, are unlikely to be doing stuff that you are going to need Magearna to counter. As a side note for the Mega Pokemon, I did give you a couple of examples as to when the non-Mega would be better. Here are a couple more. Umbreon can take 4 prizes when it KOs a Mega. Faded Town is a stadium that puts 2 damage counters on Mega Pokemon between turns, although you probably will just be playing Iron Crusher to get rid of that. Still, your opponent puts it down, you take 2 damage counters. That doesn't happen if you're using the non-EX. And let's not forget Klefki, who when attached just for 1 turn, it gets discarded at the end of the turn, gives that Pokemon immunity to Megas. So going back to a point from a moment ago, the regular non-Mega EX really does have some utility, and if you think back to Pokemon like, for instance, Rayquaza, the non-Mega ain't terribly good. The Mega is where it's at. Mega Scizor really can come around, and you can use either Scizors here, and they can be good. So we've looked at the cards in general and we've looked at the attacks. Let's have a look at some other Pokemon you may wish to play with them. Now, we've already looked at Magearna EX. Magearna EX is used essentially if there is ever a deck that is doing anything other than damage that you don't like, you want to play Magearna EX. If you're newer to deck building, let me break it down even simpler. Put a Magearna EX in this deck. Let's face it, Scizor is giving up 2 prizes anyway. If your opponent is going to take a 2-prize knockout, they might as well KO Magearna, because that way they're not KOing your attacker, but they are using their attacker, so you're KOing their attackers, they're KOing a tech Pokemon. That's sounding pretty good for them. I've also mentioned Zoroark. If you are serious about attacking with non-Mega Scizor, you are going to want to use Zoroark. It is, ladies and gentlemen, as simple as that. Now, if you want a nice little non-EX Pokemon, how about Cobalion? Now, for newer players, we can play what we refer to as the 7-prize game. That means you only bench 1 non-EX Pokemon in the entire game. In order to win the game, your opponent has to take 6 prizes. They knock out 2 EXs, there's 4. They then knock out Cobalion, that's 5. Now they've got to KO an EX to win the game, because there's only EXs left. So they actually have to take 7 prizes to win the game. And you play it here with Revenge Blast. 30 damage plus 30 more for each prize card your opponent has taken. Let's say they've taken 4 prize cards, that means you're doing 150 damage with a non-EX. If you want to get up to 180, your opponent needs to have taken 5 prizes, which means you've got to have played and lost an EX Pokemon other than Cobalion. I.e. you lose a 7-prize game, but you might have a non-EX hitting for 180. Given that Cobalion's a basic, we can use Max Elixir to get him rolling nice and quickly. While we're using Metal Pokemon, we could use the promo Jirachi, I suppose, to get rid of Special Energy and gain immunity. It's a lovely way just to waste a turn against decks that rely on Steel Energy. Why not? Now, one card that a lot of people seem a lot keener on than I do is Garbodor. Turn off abilities while using Mega Scizor. Now against things like Giratina, this is going to be very good. It will of course turn off your opponent's Magianas, which is key if you're attacking with Mega Scizor. And it will do things like stop your opponent playing Shaman, or, I don't know, for argument's sake, let's say Magnezone suddenly becomes really popular. It will turn off that as well. The thing about Garbodor is it makes your deck very, very clunky. If you really want to hate on abilities, I am much more of a fan of playing Silent Lab. Because let's face it, it's not like there's any stadiums you need to play in this deck. If you really want to play a stadium, by the way, you can play Reverse Valley. Reduce damage done to all your steel Pokemon by 10 damage. Really here, you don't need to play that. So you could just play Silent Lab if you want to get rid of abilities. And just Hex Maniac. Both of those will clunk up your deck a lot less than Garbodor. It's not out yet, but a card you may wish to consider in this deck is Raticate from Evolutions. Now again, I did a video about this, link in the description, but what's really good about this, 60 damage for every special energy in your opponent's discard pile. Now I know they can play special charge to shuffle them back in again, but you are going to be discarding them throughout the game anyway. Why not take advantage with Raticate? Yes, I know that will clunk up your deck like Garbodor does, but there's a lot of decks out there that rely on special energy. This could literally win you a bunch of matchups. And as with every deck that relies on EX Pokemon, play a Hooper to get your EXs out and play Shaman to draw extra cards. And let's finish off talking about some non-Pokemon cards you may wish to play. Now, we've already talked about Max Elixir a bunch. It accelerates energy onto basics. But we can also play Mega Turbo here. Mega Turbo allowing you to take a basic energy from your discard and attach it to a Mega Pokemon. And this is why I think we want to stick to purely basic energy here. Because you can use Max Elixir and Mega Turbo. And you can even combo this very, very nicely with Max Potion. Now, this isn't a completely new innovation. Some of the people that played Mega Scizor last format played this. But it's very simple. You've got 2 energy on you. You play Max Potion to get rid of all your damage and both the energy. But then you can just go Energy Mega Turbo and you are back. I like this idea. And I'm going to give Luke Kirkham the credit for this, lovely UK player. Hammers. This deck, you don't need a huge amount. You're playing Mega Pokemon, so you need the EX, you need the Spirit Link, you need the Mega. And you're playing 2 energy to every one. So you don't need to play a huge amount of energy. You don't need to play a huge amount of Pokemon. This is going to create some space in the deck. Now you could fill it with Zoroark or Garbodor or Raticate. But similarly here, you could fill it with hammers. Play Enhanced Hammer, play Crushing Hammer, get rid of all their energy. Because you're already getting rid of Stadiums / energy with Mega Scizor's attack. Now you throw in some hammers as well, and you're playing Energy Denial, and potentially Stadium Denial. And if you go Raticate, then you're going to play Rattata and play Tool Denial as well. When you play it to the bench, it discards a tool of your opponent's active Pokemon. And then you can just go nuts, 2-hit KOing while slowing them down. We've also got Shield Energy and Reverse Valley, but as I've said, I'm not a huge fan of either of these. Reverse Valley is fine. I would just rather play things like extra Mega Turbos or Max Elixirs or Hammers rather than Reverse Valley. You got 220 HP and a resistance to Psychic. I'm not sure if reducing that 10 damage is really going to swing the game. So, that is my discussion on Mega Scizor, the cards you should play, some cards I would, let's say, suggest you maybe stay away from, and some discussion about how it might hold up against some of the best decks in the format. We don't know what the best decks are, ladies and gentlemen. All we have is educated guesses. But a lot of these decks rely on stadiums or rely on special energy. A bunch of them may well be weak to metal, and all of them generally have 240 HP or less. That means they've all got ways that Mega Scizor can take advantage. Will it be the best deck in the format? I don't know. That's the fun of the beginning of a new format. So you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There's a comment section. Go nuts. Tell me about Scizor. If there are no comments, then I suppose you need to put first, because that's apparently how YouTube works. There is a subscribe button. Make sure you click it. If you've already clicked it, bit of homework, find a friend to click it on your behalf. I am on Twitter, follow me at the Wassy. I talk about Pokemon a lot, and if you made it this far, I'm assuming you want to hear at least some of my thoughts about Pokemon. And the most important thing as always, look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCGRadio.